Okay, guys, here we are. Thunder Mountain Harley Davidson for the long-awaited demo days. Let's go in and ride some bikes. Do a quick lap of the building. And here we go, guys.
Recording.
Okay, so next up, we're going to be taking out the Road Glide. The 24 Road Glide. We just got off of that guy there, which is the Street Glide, and now we're going to compare it to the 117 Road Glide. So let's hop on here and see what this is like. Okay. I will tell you just from here until we get going, but as of right now, just sitting, I like the handlebar position much better on the Street Glide. Okay, I don't know what it is, but this does not feel quite as nimble as the Street Glide in slow speed maneuvering. It might just be perception because of how far away that fairing is, and it might just, I might be off on my perceptions a little bit, but yeah, it definitely does not dip in as easy as a Street Glide. Now, again, that might just be because I'm a little nervous with how far away that is. Don't know. Now, the power, the way it comes on, everything is identical. I do notice that the shifter, getting my foot underneath it, I don't know if you can see that or not, is a lot more difficult. It's almost like the peg is much closer to the board on here than on the Street Glide. I don't know if that's some kind of weird setup they have or if that's going to be normal with these bikes. And airflow. Airflow, I'm getting a lot more airflow. Of course, my hands are more exposed, so we got that, right? Get lots of airflow over the hands, lots of airflow down on my upper chest and around my neck. Yeah. Even not turning, just going side to side, it does feel different from the Street Glide, which I don't know. This is, I thought that they would be much closer, but the Street Glide definitely feels much smoother than this. The blinkers work well. I love these new blinker controls. They feel great. There's that little bit of feedback, a little clickiness to them that is great. Now the suspension on this, as well as the Street Glide, just eats up this uneven road. Very, very comfortable. Very good handling. I do love the fact that unlike the old Street Glide and the old Road Glide, you don't have to mess with that little turny dongle thingy and to turn it on. And then this gas cap is amazing. I hated that little swing door business. With this one, instead of having to mess with all that turny thingy, all you have to do is up here on the buttons, pop it on, let it cycle on, and then hit the start, and it's good to go. The switch gear being metal, the housing, I really dig that. It's a good improvement. Now we're going to hop out here on the freeway, you see, and we're going to play a little bit, and I'm going to try out that sport mode. But this just regular street mode is pretty snappy. Okay, here we go. We'll be starting out in third. Heck, I'm just going to go right into sport mode now. Oh yeah, definitely quicker to the punch. That's 4. I'll just jump up to 6. Yeah, I definitely feel a lot more wind than on the Street Glide. Okay, this bike was a lot more susceptible to those winds that we talked about. We have a lot of crosswinds going on today. Street glide, almost effortless. Road glide, it was noticeable. You had to do some work to counteract them. Now we're going to go through this turnaround, this figure 8. I am being a lot more careful because it definitely doesn't feel quite as balanced as the street glide did. I mean, you can definitely get used to it, but there is a noticeable difference on the how comfortable the dip in is for a new rider of this style. It does have pretty good lean. Okay, so let's talk about something here. Again, comparing this to the Street Glide. With the Street Glide, I told you that I has always had the feeling sitting on fairing bikes that I'd be disconnected from the road in front of me. That there'd be that buffer, kind of like on a big truck with a tall hood, where it takes 30 feet in front of the vehicle before you can see the ground. Well, with the Street Glide, that put that to rest. That is not the case. You definitely feel connected. Not as much as my Road King, but you definitely don't feel the separation. On this bike, you feel the separation between you and the road. You may want that, you may not want that. You know, everybody to their own, but it is definitely a much bigger feeling of separation from the road. Okay, we're going to park this out here and then we're going to jump on another bike. And we'll be back with you guys in a few moments.
Okay, so let's start by taking a look at the engines on these guys and the other specs. So you have about 8 more foot-pounds of torque, and what is that, about 12 more horsepower. Of course, they come on at different points in the range than what the 114 does. And you get about a mile per gallon better fuel economy stock to stock from the 114 to the 117. But take a look at this weight. Now, yes, they changed the weight. They dropped it down from 853 pounds down to 838 pounds. But there's not a noticeable difference there from the old heavy Road Glide to the new heavy Road Glide. As the video showed, it's just not nearly as nimble as the Street Glide is, model to model. So I don't know the reasoning why, but it definitely, you can feel the weight on this bike. Now, getting into the wind coverage. Of all the fairing bikes that I have ridden of Harley Davidson, this was the worst as far as wind coverage. Not only were your hands affected, well, you know, which is understandable, the bars on both the new and the old Road Glide are above the fairing, but additionally, there was just too much pushback. You might as well be riding without a fairing, with the noticeable push of the air onto your chest and on your helmet. You know, there's a lot of other benefits to having the fairing, but if you're looking for wind protection, this is probably one that you want to stay away from. Even the, what was that, the Lowrider ST had better wind protection overall than this bike did. The lighting, however, I loved. I really do like the lighting on this bike. I think they knocked it out of the park as far as styling, both the lighting and that windshield up there. I love the design of it. It's just not super functional. One thing that I can't really get over now that I've seen it is those jowls, those little flare out areas underneath the front corners that just looks like a bulldog jowl. I don't know. Once you see it, you can't stop. But the lighting itself is pretty mac on. It is very good. Now, taking a look at the cockpit was great. There's a lot of attention to detail. There's a lot of craftsmanship. There's a lot of quality materials here. The handlebars I wasn't super keen on, but they weren't bad. The Street Glide was much better from just a positioning with me, who's 5'9", with a 30-inch inseam. The metal switchgear, excellent. Mirrors, excellent. Everything worked very, very good. The only thing that was a little awkward was reaching for that vent up there at the top of the dash. Other than that, everything works well in the cockpit. Now, this is probably the thing that I like the least that is common between both of the models, Street Glide and Road Glide, and that is these saddlebags. I do not like them. The widest point on them is wider than your handlebars, wider than the fairing. It's definitely a concern with filtering, and I think that they shape them to try to get volume figures without actually giving you usable space. Now, there are people that have said that they can get a lot of stuff in here. Sure, if it's a rolled up t-shirt and you're just trying to cram in every nick and corner in that, yes. But anything with structure, like a laptop bag, a backpack, anything that is a structured item to go in there, and you have a ton of wasted space. Matter of fact, let's take a look at it from the back side. You just can't refute the fact that this bike's got a big butt. So does the Street Glide. I don't like the little wedge lift ups that are over the exhaust, the end of the exhaust. They look good. Functionality is out the door on those. If this bag should have been as thick in the front as it is in the back, instead of bulging out like that, because that bulge just wastes space so that Harley can claim the numbers. I am super not happy. Now, something you should know is that you can take the old bags, both types, and put them on here and color match it and be just fine. But man, I just do not like these bags. Now, if I have offended anybody, please understand that this is my opinion on a lot of the aesthetics of the bike. I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm trying to tell you what I see and what I think. The bike, it rides good. There's a lot of movement in the right direction with these bikes. I don't think that it is that dramatic an improvement from the old Road Glide to warranty jumping ship over onto the new one just yet. But that's me with, you know, my taste. It's not you. So make your own judgment. Get out and ride these. Leave me comments of your opinion either way. Realize I'm not trying to, again, offend anybody. I'm just trying to tell you as I see things and what I experienced on them. Maybe that'll help you. Maybe it won't. But I do hope that you see more of my content. So if you want to see some future videos, see the rest of the 24s that I rode, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Y'all be safe now.